You don't need to be an athlete to benefit from interval training. Gabala's studies show it is just as effective for people suffering from coronary artery disease or those of you who are overweight. Now, as with any exercise program, check with your doctor before you start. This is Alexandra Abdelwahab for Global News. Well, there is some good news. According to the Commerce Board of Canada, Ontario's economic growth rate in 2010 will be the highest it has been in the last 10 years. This is Alexandra Abdelwahab for Ryerson Broadcast News. Students all enjoyed having the opportunity to get feedback about their work from industry professionals. They're planning on bringing back this newfound information to the classroom. This is Alexandra M. Abdelwahab for RUTV News. The executives will finalize their plans for next year during the RSU retreat in mid-May. This is Alexandra M. Abdelwahab for RUTV News. When organizers first started planning this event, they expected maybe 15 or 20 people to come out. But as you can see, there are several hundred people of all genders, ages, and all abilities even that came out to show their support and show their pride. The booth featured a bowl filled with myths that students can read to learn a little bit more about Islam, like this one, which says Muslims do not believe in the Bible or Torah. This is one of the questions that the organizers have been asked the most over the week. It's false. Do you think that having a booth like this set up here at Ryerson is important?
I think it's very important.
After learning about Muslim identity, visitors were tested on their newfound knowledge. So I'm right?
You're right. You're right.
Welcome to the show. Today we're meeting with Brenda Irving, sports reporter for CBC News. Thank you very much for meeting me. I wanted to ask you, what is a typical day like for you in the business? How was it transitioning from radio to going on air doing television? And is it difficult for you being a woman in sports? Obviously, there might not be as many.
Not now.
It's been a remarkable couple of days for Adam Giambroni, the young city councillor who wanted to be mayor.
Yesterday.
When Ryerson President Sheldon Levy announced his master plan 4 years ago, his plan was to get Ryerson a Yonge Street address. There have been many delays, but a major step forward has now been taken. Josh Bailey has the story. For many years, consumers have considered Japanese cars as the safest in the market. That might no longer be the case. Between taking her boys to school and sports practices, managing her graphic design business and fitness blog, Amanda Thebe says exercise is a challenge.
And in between that, I have to try and find time to work out because I have to. I don't feel like it's good for my mental health if I don't have some exercise.
After the birth of her second child, it was harder to lose the extra weight, even though Thebe worked out at the gym regularly. So she started something called Tabata.
It makes your body more effective, and your weight loss and fat loss is expedited, and it's going to help you build lean muscle mass.
Tabata, a type of high-intensity interval training, is gaining popularity. Created for the Japanese speed skating team in the 90s, Tabata works on a 4-minute cycle. 20 seconds of all-out effort followed by 10 seconds of rest, repeated 8 times.
Most people cite lack of time as the reason they don't exercise. But if I can show people that they can put a limited amount of time into exercise and see benefits, then I'm going to be able to convince them to continue with it.
It might be short, but it is certainly not easy.
When you start this class, she says we're going to do 4 rounds or 5 rounds, and you think, there is no way I can ever do this. But you do it.
Martin Gabala is the chair of the kinesiology program at McMaster University. He has compared high-intensity workouts to traditional endurance exercises.
15 minutes of high-intensity intervals is comparable to 30 to 45 minutes of traditional cardio.
While he doesn't recommend completely replacing regular workouts, he says interval training is effective if you can only spare a few minutes.
Short bouts of intense exercise can be very effective at improving health-related parameters. So your muscles' ability to use oxygen, we know that's an important parameter for things like your risk for type 2 diabetes. Your heart and your blood vessels improve as well.
You don't need to be an athlete to benefit from interval training. Gabala's studies show it is just as effective for people suffering from coronary artery disease or those of you who are overweight. Now, as with any exercise program, check with your doctor before you start. This is Alexandra Abdelwahab for Global News. It's not a sight we've seen a lot recently, but hopefully, signs like these will be popping up more often. At a news conference this morning, McGuinty said that Ontario has a plan for the economic recovery.
We're supporting our economy's recovery and jobs for Ontarians by investing over $17.5 billion in infrastructure this year. That's more jobs, over 160,000 jobs this year.
McGinty said he knows his plan needs to focus on families.
The single most important perspective in this is from a family household perspective. How does it feel at home? How secure do you feel about your job? Are you getting the hours you need? Do you have a job?
Most of the new jobs will be in construction, but Sue Hines, a coordinator at Labor Ready, a temporary employment agency, says she is still having trouble finding work for her clients.
Okay. Sometimes I get this office is full of guys and I might get 6 out. And then you just try and you call and you call and you call. It's just slow all over.
But Hines is still optimistic that things will change in the future.
So I just let them know, call back in March. Hopefully things pick up, because you hear that recession's almost finished or whatever. I haven't seen anything different, so I'm still waiting for it to change. And we keep on telling them month to month. So hopefully things pick up.
Well, there is some good news. According to the Commerce Board of Canada, Ontario's economic growth rate in 2010 will be the highest it has been in the last 10 years. This is Alexandra Abdelwahab for Ryerson Broadcast News.